Hey everybody, welcome back to Assassin's Creed 2. Last time on Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio goes for a swim. Okay, no. Really, last time on Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio helped out the thieves of Venice. By doing so, he met a thief called Rosa and the master thief of Venezia, a Mr. Antonio. Although Ezio doesn't normally necessarily work with the thieves, his interests and theirs happen to align. They are both after the man called Barbarigo. Several of the thieves of Venice were captured, and Ezio took the job on to rescue them on behalf of Antonio, for he would be less noticeable. But every rescue we attempted ended with a fight. After that was all done, Ezio was tasked with getting a boat, which was also no easy task. We needed to avoid guards and also dispatch a few on the dock. After we got the boat, however, we were pursued greatly. Fortunately for us, the guards don't swim, so we got away decently easy, with the exception of a knock to the head and a few arrows. After that, the plan came together. We went to find Emilio Barbarigo and put him down. After Emilio is assassinated, we find out that he has only regret from his own death, for he sought unity and order. But of course, the Templars always go about the wrong way of getting that goal achieved. After all was said and done, Ezio talked to Antonio, and they discussed the other man that Emilio was talking to, a Mr. Carlo, which leads us to our next episode. Stay tuned to find out who this Carlo is and what devious plans he has. Alright, if you've been watching, you should probably know by now what we do after completing a segment. A new portion of the map opens up, and we can go and check out the sites via the viewpoints and get some codexes and all the side missions we can possibly do before heading to our main objective. And before we get too far, we end up seeing our first database entry, the Santo Stefano. Rebecca says, if I were there, I'd race you to the top of the tower. This Gothic church was constructed in the 13th century, then rebuilt in the 14th. It's notable for being the resting place for a doge, Andre Cantarini, as well as for the fact that Martin Luther once said Mass inside. And our second with a glyph, the Campanile di San Marco. Originally built as a watchtower in the 9th century, the Campanile di San Marco was later transformed into a bell tower. Each of the 5 bells has a special purpose. One announces the Senate, another announces midday, a third the opening and closing of the workday, the fourth council meetings, and the 5th and final bell, executions. It's one heck of a tower, folks. Let's go ahead and look for this glyph. But before we get too far, we end up getting another one. The Palazzo Ducale di Venezia. The Palazzo Ducale was constructed from 1309 to 1424 in the Gothic style as the residence for the Doge, or rather his prison, since the Doge was rarely allowed to leave once elected. The Doge was the highest ranking elder in Venice and served in his position for life. In 1172, the selection of the Doge became entrusted to a committee of 40, the 40, whose members were chosen by Venetian Great Council. Venice liked to think of itself as a republic, meaning that the people could participate in the government. When the Doge took office, he was introduced to the people with the words, "This is the Doge, if it please you." In fact, members of the Great Council were appointed by the 40, which in turn chose the 40. You see the problem there. Candidates for the Great Council were selected from a microscopic pool containing only noble families, and although the Doge could nominate anyone to the council, the 40 and the council itself had to approve the nomination. Because the general population was largely uneducated, the election rules were purposefully complicated, and the council controlled the guards. Venice followed the historical norm. The people got screwed. I was going to climb that, but we get another database entry, this time with an assassin tomb. The Basilica di San Marco. The Basilica di San Marco was first built in 828 to house supposed relics of Saint Mark, stolen from Alexandria. The present Byzantine-style basilica was constructed in 1063. Check out the facade. Many of the decorations were brought back from the Crusades or given as gifts from wealthy merchants. The church was considered the Doge's personal chapel. A passageway inside connects the Palazzo Ducale next door. And making it to almost the top of this tower, we see a nice shiny on the floor. This would be our glyph. The bunker. Unlock the file. World War II archive. Accessing the file. Alright, here we go again. Let's see here. I see a symbol on the house right there. Now, where's a number? I don't see a corresponding number. Alright, well tell me if you guys saw a corresponding number to that. 'Cause I don't see one. Alright, yeah, I've looked here and I don't see any number on this one. So, after a little bit of research, I finally found out the password. And by research, I mean I googled it. Abstergo Corporation, May 2nd, 1945. The war is over, and we are in control as planned. But a slight concern has arisen. I received word from our agents in Berlin. H was supposed to execute his double inside the bunker and meet C at the rendezvous point with the Piece of Eden. It's been 3 days and he still hasn't appeared. Something must have gone awry. Please send instructions.
They engineered the war, they engineered the peace, but they weren't going to get away with it. Find our mark.
Okay, find our mark. First, we're going to look for any hidden messages and decode them if there are any. That seems to be a date. We have RIP written on the ground. Let's see. And there we find another cipher to decode. We watched the exit from above. He didn't see us coming. Okay, so decoding the cipher, it actually says the double was killed in the bunker. And there we have it, A equals H, to decipher this secret message. Looking around a while more, I didn't find anything else, so we can find what we were looking for and move on. And there it is. This picture seems to be that same building in ruin. And with that, we found the passcode and get to see another part of the truth. With that, we have only 3 left to find. Before long, we get hit with another database entry with a glyph on it. The Torre del Orologio. That last word actually means clock, or watch, if you will, in Italy. Anyways, constructed in the late 15th century as a display of Venice's wealth, the Torre del Orologio displays the time of the day, the current phase of the moon, and for those of us who believe that all human behavior is governed by little shapes in the stars, the dominant sign of the zodiac. According to legend, the designers of the clock face were blinded once their work was complete, so they could never duplicate it elsewhere. While this is probably bollocks, the designers did live inside the clock tower for the rest of their lives to maintain it. The Torre del Orologio ended up serving one very important practical purpose. It was used by sailors in the nearby harbor to time their departures with the tides. And after this, we search for some time, but finally find the glyph on the top of one of these towers.
It's getting harder. All the pain across time. It hurts too much. She sees me raise the knife. Only a little bit longer now.
Synapsis. Unlock the file. Medical archive. Accessing the file. We are denied yet again.
In the beginning, Genesis.
So, right off the bat here, I noticed the addition over here in this photo. So it looks like to me that symbol would actually be a 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Plus 6 would equal 9, so on and so forth. And if we look around a little bit more at the different medical documents, scans, whatever, we do notice that there is a 5 on the brain scans, and of course that symbol right there. So with that information in hand, we can align the 5 with the 1. Okay, now that that is done, we can get the ball rolling here. So we've got the 1 plus the 2 equals the 3, which is below the 6. The 3 plus the 6 equals 9, which is below the 7. Okay, so we've got 9 plus 2 equaling 11. So now we can assume that symbol that doesn't look like a Y is a 10, and all the symbols that look like a Y's are 1. And we can continue on with the sequence. And so with that, we can get that obviously 5 is 1, 6 has the 3 below it, the 0 would be 17, and the 3 would be 31. And if we trust what we've just done, I believe that we can submit this with confidence.
The organization wanted the pieces. They tasted their power. But what were the pieces? Why did they work so well? It's as if our minds were made for them, manufactured to obey.
Biological Frontier, Issue 1, January 2012. The scientific community is abuzz as the results of a new neurological study were made public today. What seemed to be big news in itself, that Dr. Yijie Wu and Dr. P.J. Trenaro had discovered a new neurotransmitter. It turned out to be just the tip of the iceberg. To quote Dr. Wu, using a prototype DMRI machine, we've been able to examine the contents of an actual neuron in living tissue. We've found a substance that appears to be an undiscovered neurotransmitter. Here's where it gets crazy. To test our findings, we subjected the neuron to all kinds of stimuli, but we couldn't get it to release the transmitter. So, we've discovered an entire mechanism. There are vesicles filled with neurotransmitter lying dormant and corresponding ion channels, all for no discernible purpose. Expressing bafflement that neural selection would create an unnecessary neurotransmitter, Wu and Trenaro searched for a predecessor in other species with no luck. Whatever this bugger is used for, it evolved in humans. Traruno told the press. Oh, okay. It seems like in this one we have to scan over these neurons and make them spark, if you will. I attempted to do it on some other things to see what would happen, and nothing happens. And with that, the passcode is found, and the next part of the truth is unlocked. That leaves only 2 left. After we're all finished up there, we can go and discover this assassin tomb I forgot about earlier. San Marco's secret: to solve the riddles of Basilica San Marco, to find the assassin seal hidden within. And I guess to activate the puzzle, we'll go down to that tomb and use the little skull, and that should give us access to what we need to know. Okay, I suppose we can go and step on one of these buttons. Okay, it appears that it's showing us how we are to get up to where we need to go. Oh, this is a long path. Okay. Okay, so pull the lever before it retracts. Oh, and it's a time test. Very well. We are going to speed this up, and we'll see you when we're all done. I did make those cuts times 8 speed instead of times 4 like I normally do. So they went unusually fast, but they're pretty easy, so I know everyone can just figure them out anyways. And inside the chamber here, which has these creepy skeletons, we receive 1,500 florins and our assassin seal. And would you look at that, with that one found, only one seal left. And with all that done, we can go and search for feathers. There are 9 in this district. Be aware of that. And we just got our first one. And so we'll get the rest now.
You should not be up here. Leave.
After this, I decided to go visit Leonardo. And
Leonardo.
he
Ezio, so good to see you.
graciously
How can I
decoded some codex pages for us that we found.
Another one. How exciting!
And then after this, I went
I think
back
this
to the
is
villa,
key. If I just rewrite
collected
this line,
my funds,
and it works. Here,
looked
take it.
at any new things I could get in the shop, and then I came back. However, when I dropped off the feathers, I discovered that I only collected 8, and there are 9 feathers in this district. So I'll be getting that later. For now, we've got a Templar to visit.
The merchant Medardo of San Polo has been found guilty of treason against the Serene Republic and will be executed.
Where is Emilio?
I told him to be here.
You told him yourself, in person.
Yes, myself, in person. I'm concerned that you don't trust me.
As am I. Perhaps you'll arrive with the others. Walk with me.
Birds of a feather. Tell the Templars to eavesdrop on their meeting.
So, how go things in the palace?
Honestly, it's difficult. Mocenigo keeps his circle closed. I've tried to lay the groundwork, making suggestions, but he has other voices at his ears.
Then you must work hard. You must become part of his inner circle.
See, I understand. But it's harder than I expected.
And why is that, Carlo?
I don't know, he just... the Doge doesn't like me.
I wonder why.
It's not my fault. I keep trying to please him. I learn what he craves and I have it delivered. The finest jams from the orchards of Sardinia, the newest fashions from Milano.
Yes, and that's called being a sycophant.
A what? What did you call me?
A doormat. A flatterer. A bootlicker. Need I go on?
Bastardo. You don't know what it's like. You don't understand the pressure in there.
Oh, I don't understand pressure.
No, you have no idea. You are a government official. I'm 2 steps from the Doge himself. I am beside him day and night. You wish you could be where I am.
Are you done?
Hardly. You listen to me now. I am close. The Doge can be recruited to our cause. I'm sure of it. Just... I need a little more time.
Time is not a thing we have in great supply.
All yours.
My feet are killing me. Can't we sit down inside somewhere?
Do you know anywhere truly safe to discuss things such as these?
Buongiorno, cousin. Signor Carlo?
We thought Emilio would be with you.
Emilio is dead.
What? How?
The assassin. The same one who hunted down the Pazzi. He's here in Venezia.
E così? Silvio, did you not know? He could be anywhere. He could be here right now and we might not even know. He struck Emilio inside his own palazzo.
And so? What of our plans?
There is no longer time for subtlety, my brothers. We must act now.
But Marco, I'm so close. A few more days, if I can just...
No. It happens this week. We should keep moving.
And what does the Spaniard have to say of this change of plan?
You can ask him yourself soon enough.
He's here? From Roma?
So I've heard.
Good. Perhaps he's made a decision.
About what, cousin?
About which of us shall step into the robes of the dawn.
I didn't know there was a decision to be made. Surely the choice is obvious to all.
Obvious indeed. It should be the one who organized the entire operation. The one who came up with the idea of how to save the city.
There is no lack of value in tactical intelligence, good Silvio. But it is wisdom one needs to rule. Do not think otherwise.
Calma, calma, amici. Please. There's no need for this. You know it's not up to either of you. For all we know, he may not even choose a barbarigo. And why not me? I'm the one who's done all the hard work.
Basta! We wait for his arrival.
Are you sure he's coming?
Yes!
Signori, we should move a little faster. I feel eyes on us.
Thank you, Dante. We will move at your pace.
Good find, cousin. How much did you pay for it?
Perhaps not as much as he deserves. He saved my life on 2 occasions, though he's not much of a conversationalist.
I trust it.
Enough with your inane prattle. The choice of Dojo was never up to any of you, and you were never given permission to make plans.
Forgive us, Maestro. We wish only to serve.
The plan is this. Doge Mocenigo will die tonight. And once the deed's been done, Marco shall take his place.
Vi ringrazio umilmente, Maestro.
Good. Messer Grimaldi, you are closest to Mocenigo. You work the most vital. Serve us well, and it won't be forgotten. Walk with me. I don't want any blood spilled, you understand? It must appear to all that he goes quietly.
Certo, maestro.
When are you closest to him?
I have full run of the palace. He may not care to hear what I have to say, but he trusts me by now as one of his own.
Bravo. Then I want you to infiltrate the kitchen and poison his meal.
So be it.
Marco, can you furnish us with a suitable toxin on short notice?
I defer to my cousin. That is really his area of expertise.
Ah, Silvio.
I am at your service, Maestro.
What can you bring to get this done?
I will confer with my associates in the streets, but chances are good that I can procure some cantarella.
Yes, and what is that?
It is a most effective form of arsenic, difficult to trace.
Ah, va bene, va bene. Then it's decided.
Take the lead, Bello.
Brava, tesoro! Facci vedere tutto! Where do you think you are?
Oh, why didn't you move? I don't need a great big pile of books in my arms.
I'll be watching. So stay out of trouble. Capito?
Well, we certainly put the fear of the Lord into that. There again.
Calm.
Look where you're going.
Caution, friend. Lucky there were well-bound old tomes and not free pergament.
Tired of feeling the road through your boots? Is the rain keeping your feet cold and clammy all day? Perhaps it's time we made an appointment to treat your feet right.
Forgive me, Maestro, but is this not perhaps a tad dangerous for you? Involving yourself so intimately with the minutiae of our plans.
I feel the need to involve myself more directly. The Pazzi disappointed us in Firenze. I pray you will not do the same.
Do not worry this time. The Patsy were a bunch of foolish...
The Patsis were a potent and venerable family, reduced to rubble by one young assassin. Do not underestimate this troublesome foe, who now haunts your city. Or the same fate will befall the Barbarico. I want this done promptly. Bene, I must return to Roma. Time is of the essence. Do not fail us.
Che idiota sono. I should have kept my eyes on them. I need to go and see Antonio if I have any hope of salvaging this mess I've made.
Ugh, we almost got caught there in the end. But with that, we should go and see Antonio. But before we make our way over there, we're going to go ahead and end the episode. And start back up with the assassin contracts and all the side missions. Oh, yes, I love it. So we'll see you next time for a fun-filled adventure of the contracts and the side missions, and maybe Antonio if we have time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a brilliant day, and we'll see you next time. If you're watching, please give like and subscribe, and do all the things that the YouTube wants you to do, and that I want you to do. And thank you so much. Goodbye. Have a great day.